session meeting. Basically just going over some things tonight. First, we're going to start with the building code inspector, city planner, Selmer. We have received a couple of applications and they are here today, so we're going to let them speak first, and that way if they want to leave after they speak to the board, that will be fine. We have the first one, Dennis C. Mitchell. I'm going to come up and speak this one.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing today? I've given Ms. Inman a copy of my resume. This code enforcement building inspection thing has been in it for about 20 years, from cities the size of Selmer to Dallas, Texas, and all points in between. Worked for Nebraska, some in Kansas City. I've shown an interest in, I've met with Jim a couple of times and went and looked at some of the things that he does. And I think I could do you guys a good job with cleaning up or getting things done. On top of my credentials there, I've got a lot of sensitivity training and how to defuse things. If there's an issue, which hardly ever have any issues, you know, trying to make somebody mow their yard or but so I'm 61 years old. I retired from the city of Arlington as a stormwater and floodplain coordinator. I've got numerous certifications and license to do what you guys need. I think I've got everything to do what you guys need. But in the event there's something that I don't have, I'll gladly go get it. Not a problem. Do you have any questions for me?
Are you okay with the salary?
Yes. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Again, I'm retired. I'm not doing this because I have to. I'm doing it because I want to. I want to be involved in the city. My wife is a labor and delivery nurse at Magnolia. We moved here about a year ago. I don't know, I'm the former owner of Rockin' M roll-offs, roll-off dumpsters. I don't know if you guys ever used them or seen my advertisements. But I sold it to a gentleman in Nashville about 6 months ago. So now I'm just looking for something to do. It's not all about the money for me. We're building a new home out on Bethesda Purdy Road. I don't know if y'all have been by. It's going to be a barn dominium. It's started. It's about 3/4 done. So we've built roots here and plan on staying, and both getting heavily involved in the community. Try to make some things grow and clean up. We're both passionate about where we live, you know, keeping things clean and where we.
Any questions? They all got his resume, so
No
we're not making that
questions.
decision today or anything. No questions.
Well, Ms. Inman has my phone number if you guys want
They
to
have it. They
call.
have the same thing. Mr. Mitchell, I give them all
yeah.
the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. I'll meet with you, whatever I need to do. You guys, even if you give the position to someone else, I'll still help you with it. I mean, the floodplain, stormwater stuff, I'm licensed through Tennessee. I'll be glad to go show you what I know and how to deal with it and whatever I can do to help. Again, I'm not in it for the money, I'm just going to be a part of it.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, next up is David Forsythe. Did I put this in minutes as well? Did I give you all?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize I was gonna have to give a speech. But most of y'all know me, been in this town for a long time. I've been associated with the building industry for 40 years, pretty much. Been in a lot of these homes. you know, I feel like I'm extremely qualified to do what the job that's needed to be done here. Jim's gone over a lot of stuff that he actually does over here, and I really don't see a problem with any of it. During my business years, I've took care of a lot of different things. I've remodeled my own homes and done a lot of construction work in them, and I've been around a lot of construction. So, you know, and I do think it's a good thing to keep the area looking good. I even seen the mayor last week picking up trash at the corner on the street out here, which I thought, you know, I don't think I've ever seen that before. But he was actually out there doing that, and I thought, well, that's pretty nice. But like I say, I don't have a lot to tell you. Most all of you know me. I'm not as familiar with you two gentlemen as I am the other three aldermen, but I know your dad real well. And
You
he's
know
a
me
good guy.
too, I've paid you.
I know
enough money.
you, yeah, I
me.
know you. I just hadn't been around you as much as I have a lot of the other
Right.
guys, so. But I've done a lot of work for Sherry over the years too, so she's very familiar with me, so. Like I said, I didn't realize, I didn't prepare a speech, but I would like to have a job, and I have no idea what I'm paid. I retired last fall, and to be perfectly honest with you, it drives me nuts. I want something to do, you know, and I feel like this job fits perfectly, so, you know, just whatever you guys decide will be fine with me.
Thank you.
Have any questions? No? Okay, next up is, I want to talk about the tennis courts. Y'all got the estimates through the email? Did y'all have any questions about that? Okay.
What's being done at the tennis courts?
I've got some estimates on hopefully getting them resurfaced. I sent them out to the alderman to look at the bids. J.T. Hawkins was on and responded about maybe those two grants, the $10,000 grants that was from, I guess, last year sometime. $10,000 apiece. The one was for the school and then one was for the city that was applied for two $10,000 grants. Do you remember saying that?
There was a $20,000 grant, and the city, we had to match it, each $5,000 each. It wasn't two $10,000.
Okay.
It was a $20,000 USTA.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So did we get that or no? No.
I was told not to apply for it. I was told that I was not able to apply for any more grants, that you were getting Southwest.
Melissa Davis, and so we missed that. Okay. Well, that was last year. So, and we also missed another one that I didn't, Melissa didn't, wasn't able to get. But either though, we do need to make a decision on the tennis courts going forward. If we're going to use some of the ARPA money, is what I'm asking for as your mayor. And of course, your tennis team will probably be, most of that will be here tomorrow. So is that something that y'all would like to do? We won't have to vote on it tonight or anything, or tomorrow, but I just wanted y'all to look at your material and see, because I do want to use some of that money to get that tennis courts.
Was the ARPA money not earmarked for something else other than tennis courts?
It was, but then I did ask MTask, and MTask said that we could use some of that money to resurface the tennis courts, and then I did run that by Angie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I
Yes.
said last month, the money can be used for
Mm-hmm.
pretty much everything. You just have to understand that when you're doing it over here, you have, just taking it away from there. I mean, there's
Understood.
only X number of dollars, so, and that's fine, you can do that. I just have to, once a year, I have to update them, and in April's when I have to update them, so you need to, you know, make a decision.
Is there a grant that we could apply for to not have to use that money, use it where we've already got it?
You
and try
probably
to-
could. It could be next year. Yeah, we could probably do it next year. But I'm just asking, do you want to wait another year? What is, you know, we got some nets out there, and I just think the kids, in my opinion, you know, it's looked this way for a long time. And I'm not fussing on anybody, because I know y'all always think I am, but I do think it's something that we need to do. I think it's one thing that we need to do for our children, is put a tennis
Okay.
court
Well, I
surface
think
on
we need
that.
to look for free money that was not already marked for something else before we decide to use the money that we have marked for something else.
Well, you're probably not gonna use all that money for the police station. So what else were you gonna use it for? You got your 2 police cars, right? Did you get, where you,
Not my police cars.
well, police cars, is that correct?
Yes, we got 2
And
police
you don't
cars.
have to be, yes. So I just think this is something that we could give back.
I guess what I'm asking is, can we look to see when and how we can do that
I
on, see
can-
if there's
We-
a grant
I can
available and see what the
get
timeline would be
Melissa.
before we decide to pull the money.
Okay, she's gonna
Okay,
get
all
Melissa.
right.
But I think that the, USTA grant is not due until April.
Okay,
Okay, I'll get
so if
Melissa.
we can get that done, we can.
Okay, we'll move on. Y'all have the downtown facade grant. I know y'all got all that through your email as well. It's not something we have to decide right now, but.
Is it a new round?
No, it's the old one where Terry was saying that he thinks we should forgive, the owners that had it. It's not like I have a problem with that, because I do think that they did a great job of doing the, upgrades for the downtown. It's just that y'all always say, if we do one for one, we have to do one for all.
Have any of the other ones
No,
sold or whatever? I think that was what
That
it
was
was,
the
is if
only
they
one.
sold.
They
Because if they
sold-
sold within 5 years of, after getting that money, they were supposed to pay it back.
that's exactly
And
right.
that's in the contract, so.
And so they did, so I'm just asking y'all to think about soon what we should do if y'all wanna forgive, because remember, you're always saying, you know, we don't do that. We always make sure that we make
Do
everybody
you have
do
the
right thing.
spreadsheet about how many of them there were? Cause I've got it, I just didn't, I didn't know
I
this was
don't,
gonna
I
be
didn't
talked
bring
about.
it, no, I didn't bring it, they got the email from Terry and I did too, so.
And it's actually prorated down for every year, so I don't think it's the full, it's not the full 5 years, I'm not even sure. I mean, I'd have to look and see how many years it is that it's
So-
been, so, I mean, it's a very immaterial amount. Again, even if you had to forgive everybody, which that's not gonna happen. I think the 5 years is gonna be up. I mean, I don't even know when it was the first year that we did it.
2 years now.
Has it been 2 years?
And I worry,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how we, you know, what we
Yeah.
said in the past, so I just
Yeah.
wanna be consistent about that, what we say.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next up is ambulance service. Chief Carl will speak on this. It's, was presented to me from the county, but I brought Chief Carr into it, and it's just something about, go ahead, I'll let you explain most of it, because it's not 300.
West Tennessee Healthcare has given notice to the county that they're gonna cancel the current contract July 1. Now they wanna be paid for their services. I don't have the exact figures. Do you have what?
Yes, and I'll put those in that, right there, he's got it.
Anyway, the county mayor has asked the city of Selmer and the city of Adamsville to contribute money. If you read Tennessee State Statute, the first line of it, it says all county governing bodies are authorized and directed to make a provision to ensure that at least one licensed ambulance service is available to the county. Now, the cities or the municipality can enter into a interlocal agreement, but you got to remember it this way: if you're taking city taxpayer dollars, giving it to the county, is that not double taxation? Willie seems to think it is,
It
I
is.
do,
It
I'm no
is.
attorney on that. But here's my question: if the city was to decide to do it, I think in this interlocal agreement, that as far as the city of Selmer, we need a clause that there will be one ambulance kept in the city of Selmer at all times, because I know that's what Adamsville's gonna ask, because that was the hitch on the last ambulance service contract. They wasn't gonna put an ambulance in Adamsville, they was gonna run it from here over to there. Well, when it got reworked, Adamsville got their ambulance. Because if we're gonna pay a part of this, our citizens is due at least one ambulance. Not all of them be out in the county, but, you know, that's your own decision.
So if that did happen, how is that monitored, and what penalty do they get if they don't keep one here? So they're running people.
Well, really the only
people
one-
to Jackson,
really-
run over here, and then there's not one here, they're not gonna keep it here, there's a wreck in Eastview.
really the only way to monitor it is like we do now, when we call for an ambulance if ain't one available. It's not an easy task to monitor it. Now, we did get a GPS system put in 911. 911 can track where all the ambulances are, but we've had 8 ambulances in this county at one time. That's why if we've got something bad and I can set a helicopter down the middle of the road, we're gonna go on the helicopter flying. You know, that's just the gist of it.
I just said that I didn't think we need to be double taxed, because that, to me, that didn't make sense. I don't know what citizens think, what do y'all think? I don't think we should be.
No, but I hate to lose the ambulance. So-
Now, we don't wanna lose
So I
ambulance,
don't wanna do that, so.
but it should be everybody like Mickey, Bethel, all the smaller towns, they would have to pay a part too, just like Selmer would.
We've got till July the 1st, but if we need to have like maybe Alan Strickland or somebody like that to come talk,
We need to do that, 'cause
'cause I mean,
that's basically the county asking us for money.
it's 37,525.
And like Willie just said, at 911, we make all 10 incorporated. It's based off the call volume and stuff, but all 10 incorporated pays for dispatch services. Selmer and the county's about the same, Adamsville's next, Bethel's third, and then it kind of trickles on down from there, but if you're gonna do it, ask everybody to pay. But that's just basically what Tennessee state statute says.
Okay. Next up is, discussing that speed bump. I'm just letting y'all know he'll be here tomorrow. I don't know if y'all wanna even talk about that tonight or not. Next up is the fire hydrants. You got all of that in your packet about what MTS said about using the fire hydrants. Did y'all have any questions about that? No. And what that basically is us using the county using the fire hydrants in the city limits, or just using the fire hydrant, period. And, when I had to go to a meeting the other day, Angie, they were, you know, asking the county mayor and everything, so I got with MTS and they gave me the.
Yeah, I saw the screenshot,
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks for
Which
sharing.
I appreciated them.
I mean, cause, you know, I was trying to understand myself, so.
Yeah.
Next up is, the bicentennial 200th birthday, for the county. The county gave 5,000. My proposal was we gave $1,000 for the, to get into the, I guess, into the book, the little bicentennial, 200th birthday book. And then we would donate the fire, works during October. And he's gonna get a price on that, which we don't have yet.
I sent her an email, she's got the
Yeah.
new price sheet. Probably not gonna have that for another month though.
So, but we don't have to even, decide on that either tonight, but I just wanted y'all to know about that. And then you see number 9, so we can come in and talking. Raymond will come and talk, or if you wanna just sit there and talk, you can talk about the building, cause we're definitely working on the street and sanitation building. Y'all got that right here.
I don't know how many of you have ever been up to the shop, but the first time Mayor Inman came up and saw the office that the street department has, he says, I don't know how you folks can work in there. Since then, we've talked several times, and we've decided that the money that we were supposed to put a pole barn up with, we would put a new office up. Many people come into the office, where do I do this, where do I do that, who do I contact for here? I don't know how many of you have been there, but it's a shop. And, you know, it's not in great shape, it's dusty, Mary Ann has, our clerk has given her notice, a month's notice, that her health has declined so badly. This is the notice she gave, that since she's been working here, that has decided that she's given her notice she's gonna do something else. So I drew up some plans, you have them in your, they were in the envelope. I drew up some plans, we put a notice for a bid application in the paper, ran it for 2 weeks. Did a rough draft of what we thought would work, and not one person put a bid on it. Meanwhile, you know, Mary Ann was leaving, and we're just going from there. I think the clincher was the mice falling out of the lights onto her desk. So, again, it is a shop. You know, sheetrock is falling down, we store our records up there, you know, we don't know how long it's gonna last. But in turn, you know, this is always the way it's been, and I've never thought to think that it would be any different. But, you know, we have 40,000, 42,000, 45,000, something like that, for that. You know, like I said, not one person bid. So I contacted somebody for pouring a slab. Daniel says, listen, if nobody bids on this thing, I can save the city an awful lot of money. I'll build it. The only problem with that is, you know, he's gonna have to do it in between his mechanic work. And I'm gonna have to take somebody off the street side to help him. You know, he's gonna be raising rafters, he's gonna be, you know, nailing studs, whatever the case may be. We would hire he said the only thing I don't wanna do is pour the slab, and I don't wanna do the electric. I'll do the plumbing, I'll do this, I'll do that, and that's what he said he would do. There's nothing elaborate there. It's a little small conference room, an office for the clerk and the assistant clerk, and an office for the foreman, my office, or the office for the superintendent, you know, in a little conference room, 14 by 16, something like that. Just enough to run safety videos for the guys, where we can all gather in one place. I'm bringing this to you to say, you know, do we go forward with this? Do we stay where we stay? You know, what is the feeling of the board? And it's unfortunately 3/4 of them are out, but
My feeling is we need to do something. Has OSHA said anything? That's what I thought.
yeah,
I thought. So why do we need to wait for them to come in here and fine you or do something and you know it's bad?
Yeah.
If anybody needs a nice, more pleasant building, you do.
well,
I wanna say
ahead.
something real quick about him
Yeah.
doing it. The only thing, and and it may be fine, and the only thing that I hesitate on him doing it
Yeah.
is the
Well,
fact that it's grant funds, and I need to make sure that, because it's grant funds, that we don't have hoops that we have to jump through. So
I would
let
rather,
me look at that, and
yeah,
and you know, that
yeah,
when you start using grant funds, especially federal grant funds, there's a lot of red tape and loop and things that you have to do. So,
I would much
Yeah.
rather have somebody do it. That way Daniel can continue to do what he does, everybody can continue to do what he does.
yeah, that would be my only thing.
Is it a conflict of interest? That's what I thought.
So if we, like, you didn't get any bids back at all,
Not one.
what's the process on when we don't get any bids on a
You
project?
can ask for bids.
You can ask for
You
bids.
can contact, once you
So,
show documentation that you have made
I'm
due
assuming it's a
diligence.
metal building, there's several metal building companies
Yeah.
like
It
that.
will be a metal building, sheetrock interior,
Call
um,
the,
What, blue steel and
blue
red,
steel
whatever.
and lead, and
and,
now I did
More
take,
summertime metals.
Summertime metals.
yeah, I did take, what you have in the envelope, I did take that to K&V Services.
Okay.
Somebody had told me that's what they do. I did take it, I was supposed to hear back at the beginning of last week. I've never heard anything yet. I will, you know, contact
Yeah,
them as well.
but once you have done the due diligence,
Yes,
and keep that documentation, then you can ask for bids. You can go out and say, hey, do this for me, can you do this for me? You know, that kind of thing.
Okay. 'Cause even if he builds it, it may look cheaper on the front end, but if you're taking a man off the street and then he's not doing mechanic work,
Yeah,
in the
there's
long
no-
run, it may not be,
Right.
you won't
Yeah.
see that, you won't see that money
Yeah.
disappear, but
That's fine, I don't mind that at all. Daniel has built, you know, several buildings at our, not several, 3. He's did the old salt shed years and years ago. They did the new salt shed that's up now. He's done our break room, so he knows, you know, what he's doing, you know, as far as that goes. But if we can't do that, then we have to,
Hey,
but,
Ray,
yes.
I may have somebody that you can contact that y'all could get a really well-built structure at a fair price. I had him build me a shed for, to put our camper under. And it's nearly a 30 by 45 on 6x6s. And it cost me $5,000.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
a very good price.
The only thing that's really hurting me is I don't know a lot of people around here. You know,
Well, I'll give you his
I'm
number.
new, that's terrific, I'd be glad to talk to him.
That's good.
And it may be that you have a contractor to put the shell up and then another
Yeah.
contractor to finish it out, because I know that's a lot of times,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
so. But
Where you
I
gonna
would
put it?
still say that,
Right in front of the break room that we have now that Daniel built, directly in front of there. It's gonna be 28 by 36.
yeah, summertime, I would contact summertime too. If
So-
you're within that range, you know,
Definitely.
summertime though.
Okay. Write this down.
I'll write it down, I'll let you know. Okay, next up is bids for the Selmer City Park. We got bids today.
Just one more thing before we move on. We have an emergency situation. There is a culvert that has rotted away on Poplar Avenue that was patched temporarily. We contacted somebody to do it. They said they would rather not do anything for the city anymore. So I reached out to 2 different other excavating companies. I believe under the bid that was, or not the bid, but I did, they said under an emergency situation, you don't have to get a bid. You can just go out and hire somebody. But I did get 2 prices. One from Sammy Hill, who's a contractor, excavating contractor. Don't know anything about him, just going by what people have told me. Another one was a gentleman in Savannah that does a lot of their utility work. Sammy Hill was $6,000. The other gentleman, whose name slips me,
Scotty Vargas.
yeah,
Scotty Vargas.
and his was $8,500. So I'm just letting you know we're gonna go with Sammy, and, you know, the situation is, under Poplar Avenue is a 10-inch, I believe 10-inch, it's hard to tell because it's covered over with asphalt, 10-inch slab of concrete, the same situation that we ran into on Peach Street, where when Jason King did that one, they had to actually rent a hammer to bust that concrete up. It was very, very hard, very, very thick. That one was like 18 to 20 inches thick. Don't know why Poplar would be any different, but it is. So just letting the board know that we're going ahead, and we're probably gonna start that job tomorrow. We'll put out on, if the police will put out on their Facebook that Poplar will be closed from that little cut-through street by Volunteer to, I believe it's Forest. We're gonna close the road off, get it all pulled out, repair the catch basins once we, you know, knock those walls out.
You don't have it done in one day or more than one day?
No, it'll probably be 2 days. We will have flaggers out there during the day, you know, to escort the road. We'll have road closed signs up, and I'm just letting you know that.
And good thing there's no school this week. That's a
me?
good thing. That's a good thing there's no
Yeah,
school.
yeah, praise
That's
the
a
Lord
good
for
thing,
that.
There ain't no school.
Yeah, okay. Bids for the Selmer City Park.
Thank you, Jim.
I gave you each a packet of what was turned in today. There's also a copy of what was put in the paper and what all we had recommended. That's in there. It should be your second page, or it should be in that right there, in that packet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody got the same thing. And, so when we opened them, the mayor came up and we opened them and we had 5 different ones to, apply. White Way out of Corinth, came in at 22.5. Willis Lawn Care, who does our downtown now, came in at 25.2. H&H Lawn, which, was out of Bethel Springs, was $54,005. Southern Turf, who is out of Selmer, was $40,920, and W.T. Yarborough and Sons was $107,540. And each of you have what they based that on.
Was they clear on the same agreement?
Yes, sir. He told us when we opened up the others, he said, I'm way out of pocket there. And he first pulled his bid. And then he said, no, I'm gonna put it back in because I'm not ashamed of it. But he said that that's what it would take to do what he felt needed to be done with all the workers and, to get, he was having to hire someone on top of the mowing and everything to do the spraying that we had asked for, the pre-merge and stuff, because he is not certified for that. I know Southern Turf is certified for that. H&H, I'm not sure that he was. And I know that White and Willis are both certified to do the pre-merge and the roundup and stuff that we need, because at the amounts that you need, you almost need to be certified. That's why we always get Willis to do our pre-merge on the fields. You have to be certified in those things, and chemicals and stuff. So I know that my suggestion, we let Willis do the downtown. He's got the downtown, and my suggestion, since he is already doing that, is that we go with him. That's just,
He also does the cemetery.
Yeah, he does
he
cemetery
does the
also.
cemetery also. And so, I may be able to get him down to the 22.5, or, something if,
The 22.5 bid include picking up all the leaves too?
yes,
It wasn't listed.
yes. Huh?
It wasn't listed on that bid.
Oh, I thought it was.
It says picking up limbs and
Okay.
trimming trees, but
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Is that for both parks?
It's for both parks, around the swimming pool and out at the gazebo area. And someone mentioned today about the gazebo's gonna be tore down?
No, I'm getting bids for the gazebo. That's for some investors that wanna see it bigger, but that's not anything in play right now.
Okay, cause I didn't know what we were gonna do, so I didn't know if something needed to change there as far as the bid or what we were gonna do. Because someone did mention to me today that I know that the gazebo was gonna be torn down, and I said I have no idea. So I just wondered about that.
I
But,
think Willis is charging less since he's already got quite a bit. Normally they'll help you if you trying to help them. And he does a good job.
He does. He
Yeah.
does a real good job. He does. So I know y'all can't.
Clay wants to. He says he'll do 3 or 4 hours every night.
That's deep. And they always at the same meet?
So,
They all got the same spec sheet, didn't
some guy out of Corinth, I don't know.
White Way Lawn Care out of Corinth. Rodney White was his name.
Okay.
And so I know y'all have to be since I'm here, can I go ahead and talk about the other stuff here? ball signups this time has just been phenomenal. We've got well over 300 kids signed up. Working right now, we have got the softball and the baseball uniforms ordered. We're working on getting tiny tots. I'm having a little trouble getting coaches. Years ago, we never had trouble getting coaches. We had too many coaches. Now we can't get enough to even cover the kids we have. So I'm still working on tiny tots, getting coaches, and working on a couple of sponsors, but I think we've got all of those covered now. What I would like to do though is, if you see in my second paragraph there, Danny Roberts Jr., who we lost last year, did a lot out there at those ballparks when his boys was growing up, and even when my boys was out there. And even after his kids left, he still, if we needed a sponsor, if we needed the air conditioning worked on, whatever we needed, he was there and he done it for us. So I would like to dedicate that large baseball field in his memory. And what I'd like to do, what we did up at Patriot Park for Coach Webb when he was, when that field was dedicated to him, and I'd like when we finish Patriot Park to go back and put it in his memory and redo that. But we just made a large baseball. It was just huge. And we just put, you know, his, I think we put in honor of, or named that the Bill Webb Field is what we did on that up there. But I would like to put something like in memory of Danny Roberts Jr. and maybe put, you know, his birth year and his, you know, year of death or whatever. Something like that to go out there in center field on that large baseball field. Because he did a lot for this program. So I would like to do that.
That'd be good.
We had talked about doing the opening day on April the 8th, but I think we're gonna move it on to April the 15th, so we have just a little bit more time to get uniforms and everything in. And,
Don't have an extra week to practice.
yeah, you got an extra week to practice. The other thing was the pool. We talked about the pool, the mayor and Willie and myself had a meeting, and she suggested that she had rather me get someone other than Chris Kratz this year. There's not really a whole lot of pool places in McNairy County, so I called Andy Allen, who his kids participate in sports and all with the programs up at the soccer and the basketball programs that we offer. So he came and talked to me, and Andy is willing to, he's already ordered all of our supplies and everything, and I think it was around $3,500 for everything for the summer that he feels like we'll need. You see Chris's quote on what it would cost. He was gonna charge us $1,200 to open. Andy's only charging us $350 to open the pool. He's also gonna have someone that will come weekly and do maintenance on the pool for $100 a week. So we were paying Chris $500 a month to do that, and now he's gone up to $600 a month. So I do think that the going with Allen Pools out of Corinth, I believe that they're gonna save us money and hopefully do us a good job. And his, you know, his quote on opening the pool is me just telling him everything was winterized, everything's, all he's gotta do is go back out there and hook it up and start it back up. If he finds problems, there may be, you know, some other charges that I don't know about. So I think that's all I've got today.
All right. We got Chief Holly. I did say Chris come in. Chris, did you bring your resume? You did? Okay. Thank you.
That's the addendum. This is old.
That's okay.
But
That's okay. If you can wait just a minute, we'll let you talk as well. Chris is also applying for the, I'll pass that around, sure, I'll get some, for the inspector, building code inspector and city planner.
So he's finna talk.
Yeah, he'll talk after Chief Holly. We're gonna let Chief Holly go ahead.
So we had ordered police cars last July, and we finally got them in last week. So I guess it took us 8 months to get police cars. So they finally came in, 2. So they're issued out. So I think that's what's on this line, and I was just gonna let, this just from information to let you know those 2 police cars are in and issued out. So
Did Tony ever get his back?
We went and got it and fixed it ourselves.
Oh.
No, they never did fix it. So does that sort of answer the question?
Stay there 3 months.
Yeah, it sat there for 3 months.
So they sold it to us but wouldn't fix it.
Well, they said they couldn't ever
Get to it.
get to it.
Okay.
So Daniel did.
So we went and got it, and Daniel fixed it for us.
And then
Go
I
ahead and
want,
stay up there and do this.
In an hour. In an hour.
I'm gonna do yours.
The next thing I was wanting to talk about is the building next door. At the last board meeting, I gave you some bids, but they were at the minute of the board meeting. When I first took bids, I took bids to renovate the whole building, and then we got over there and found the roof was leaking. So we turned around and took roof bids. So the roof bids were $55,100, $28,800, and $98,800. So I was going to ask you to accept Matlock Roofing bid for $28,800 tomorrow night. I think, Mr. Willie, you still have yours, I think.
Yes, I got
Because I
mine.
give them out
I got mine right here.
last month. And then the bids to renovate the building, Southern Logic Contracting, it says, and I'll read it the way it came in, $100,000 for contingency fund budget for unseen issues, and the amount required $550,000. Design team $398,850, and Keith Freeman Construction $450. So I would ask that you accept the bid for design team for $398,850, and there is a representative here tonight for design team. And before the meeting started, I gave you a layout from design team that sort of shows you the design of the building next door. If you have any questions from him or I. And in the budget packet, his is sort of laid out pretty much exactly what the costs are compared to the others. The others are just flat figures, $450 and $550, to where theirs are itemized out to what the cost would be. So that's what I'm going to ask tomorrow night, that you approve these bids for the building next
Do
door.
you wanna come up and say anything?
No, ma'am, not particularly. I'll answer any questions you have.
Okay.
I mean, there wasn't a ton of guidance other than things we discussed, and so, we did it the way it was explained, and, we actually spent a good bit of time over at the Savannah Police Department building. Spent a couple days over there going through and looking at what they've got. Talked to Chief Michael Pitts quite a bit about what he has and what he wishes he had. And so our bid actually includes quite a few things that weren't in the initial discussion that we've, felt like would be something that they would need in that building to operate correctly. Like some additional locks, locking all the doors. We're looking at, firearm boxes for the rooms and things like that. Some, let's see, we're gonna add some sinks and some things to make some creature comfort things that weren't part of the discussion, but things we feel like they need, as part of that. So, we feel like we can deliver a pretty complete package for that bid, so.
Do y'all have any questions?
I just have one question.
Yes.
Would you be interested?
I almost gave you my card while you were We'll take care of it.
Matter of fact, you could charge the police department.
We have the ARPA money that's already budgeted for it.
And it's well under that number.
Yes.
And I was expecting the bids to be a whole lot higher than what we have.
Yes, exactly.
We've
But I
even
wanted to
actually
take
gone as
it
far
forward,
as,
but I don't wanna wait any longer, because they can start in May and June.
we've gone as far as additionally pricing the furniture for the place through Uline, which is a supplier that, provides for that type of building. We've got numbers for all that, for all the additional tables and chairs and desks and everything else, so, if you wanna discuss those numbers, we can do that.
And there is some costs that we never have
And
talked
everybody's
about.
2,000.
We've never talked about the back parking lot, and I haven't discussed this with Raymond. I hope, I thought, gravel and asphalt. I mean, there's things like that we've never discussed that we know that would cost some more money. We have not talked about Cause it's a bigger room, just like there's a conference room over there. We know we need some tables and chairs, but, and that might be something we put in next year's budget, but it's still way under budget for the money we had budgeted in the ARPA money for this.
Just as a taxpayer, how much did you pay for that building?
Did I pay for the bill? How much did the city pay?
Yes.
I think it was a little over $100,000, that's my understanding.
100,000. That's
123.
what you think.
123 according to the paper.
Right,
Yes.
right. And how much are you gonna put in it?
With these figures, about 420, about 430.
But we can't find a building and build a building.
No, in this climate, you
And
couldn't,
that
you
we
couldn't,
can't.
you double that.
Yeah, you
That
double
square
that.
footage, you couldn't come in one.
We can't even touch that.
Well, let me ask you something else. You're a policeman.
Yes, ma'am.
They were asking 70,000 for it and you paid 123?
No, I don't know how much they were asking for it. I had nothing, I don't have a clue.
I
what
just
that-
asked, okay,
I don't know anything about the asking price or nothing.
okay, who do I ask?
I don't have no idea. I don't know nothing about asking prices.
Does anybody?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I asked how much was it appraised for, and they said it was commercial, and that it wasn't really, the same price wasn't what it would be that the man wanted, because I had heard 70-something thousand too. But when the dust settled, it was 120-something thousand. So I was new and I didn't understand. I mean, I just tell it like it is. I didn't understand it. But we bought it.
How much was the check written for the bill?
I never seen the
I
check.
did, 123.
She did. 123.
123.
Yeah.
There's something doesn't jive here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If it was appraised at 76 and we give 123, why did we give
Why
120?
would that be?
If something ain't there, we got to follow up on.
I'll ask.
Yeah, we'll follow up and find out, get you the answers.
I will ask.
Oh, my gosh, I was.
She gets through, I
Little
got
girl,
another
yeah.
Can I get those bids again, just roughly what they are?
The roof,
No, roughly the bids of the roof is one thing, that's something else. It's-
the building,
Yes, what his price is and the next two bidders.
his was $398, $850.
$398,
The next one was $450,
yeah.
and the next one was $550.
We don't know what we're getting though for either one of those numbers. We have no idea what you're gonna get when you get through.
No.
You don't have any plans, you don't have anything in writing. You got a guy right here, he's probably as good as my mother was, I don't know, probably is. Might be a great guy. You have no idea what that man's gonna give you. I've been a contractor a long time, and with bids, that's like a 10% flux right there. He is below them, and bids were never that close, that far apart. If you're that far below the guy, he won't make it. And give you what you think you're gonna get. He's gonna give you light box, he's gonna give you extra sinks, he ain't gonna give you a jack that's not on the fix it written down somewhere. And I don't blame him, but he's a contractor, and he's gotta be competitive.
One of his is pretty much written down.
It's all written down.
The other people don't either, and maybe they got other things, but if you don't have an engineer, architect on to draw what you think you're gonna get, you wouldn't let the guy turn the guy loose in your house like that with open.
We'll check that. I'll check
It's
that.
all on there. I would advise the city not to take a building, $500 million building, without having something written down by, I get your new building inspector to look at his first building and see what they think about it.
Yes, I think
Okay.
Jim
I
has
don't
looked
think
at
you need to
it.
approve $500,000 with nothing written down, more concrete than what you got, otherwise you're gonna get a building, police building like you got a ballpark or something.
Does the
Okay.
I think we got a
have
list.
architects that
We
work
got a
there?
list. Yes, we got a list.
He needs to draw you a plan and get it approved, look like.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Right, then I just wanted to let y'all know that TDOT is in town doing surveys for the multimodal sidewalk. I just-
Excuse me. We're having a meeting. There you go.
Well, TDOT is in town doing our survey for the multimodal sidewalk downtown. So I just wanna let y'all know that. So you'll see the survey, TDOT survey in downtown. That's gonna be for the sidewalk that goes from the, splash pad down to the park on that side of the street. So, anyway. All right, so we're gonna go into the next thing. We'll be, opening up after the meeting for beer and liquor license. They're just changing hands, so we'll have to vote on that. And there's the name. All right, so we'll talk about, the joint use agreement between McNair County Education and the city of Selmer, and that is for the storm shelter that they finally completed in Selmer Elementary School. So y'all all got that. I hope y'all take the time to read that before tomorrow night, but I don't
And
think we're gonna
that's
vote
just-
on that tomorrow night.
No, we need to wait.
We
I
need to
sent
wait,
that to
yes.
MTS to look at. The FAR consultant says it looks good, but he has sent it on to legal and stuff. The only thing that the people need to understand about that, when school's in session, or they've got a ball game or summer class or something like that, we still cannot use it. So it's not gonna be available 24/7, 365. And we've still got to get with Sam Chambers on the liability insurance. So I'm gonna recommend we pass till next month on that.
And that's just so,
And I agree with that.
well, somebody from the city, you or somebody have access to the building and let everybody in.
Yeah.
During the time that school's not in session. Okay, the Veterans Day Parade, I've got it right here. We all will be able to vote on that tomorrow night to go ahead and sign that for November the 11th for the Veterans Day Parade. I'm gonna put that on the agenda.
The same people doing this last year.
Yes,
Okay.
same ones, American Legions, and this is all of it right here, so.
Okay.
He had asked me about lining up on the road,
Mhm.
and I told him that that was a safety hazard and we could not do that. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're not,
Yes, and
we're
he
not putting them in
understands
the road.
that. Yeah, he understands.
I was just making sure I was right in telling him.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, Alderman Sain, do you wanna talk about that, or you wanna wait till next time?
I think we need to talk about it. I know
Oh,
it probably,
okay.
ain't nobody wanting to, probably ain't wanting to answer it, but, we losing a lot of people leaving water, street, police for better jobs, better promotion, or whatever, careers. And I don't know how the money is, Angie, or something's gotta
I just sent
change.
her an email.
Yeah,
We have to start looking
I
at the
printed it
grant.
off, I haven't looked at it yet, but I printed it off,
Yeah.
y'all probably got it too.
Something-
I mean, I haven't, I sent you an email saying,
Okay.
hey, we need to start talking.
Yes,
That's-
okay.
That's what I sent you.
Yeah, something's gotta change, you see. I mean, we losing,
I agree, but I also know that places that pay them $25 an hour can't hire me.
I know
So
that.
I just
But we
know
don't
that-
pay them $25
No,
an hour.
I'm just saying, it's more than just the money.
It is
And
more than the
I'm not
money.
saying don't give raises, cause, I mean, I'm not ever gonna say that.
No.
I fight for the employees probably harder than anybody.
Cause
but-
you know, we went through this to get Raymond them more money, and it was like, hey, we gotta give up our firstborn boy. And
Well,
then all of a
everybody-
sudden, we had all kind of money.
Well, I didn't
And
say
I'm
we
think-
had all kinds of
I
money.
know you didn't say it, but I mean, it's just like, bam, here it is, here, yeah, so, you know. So we need to
It's,
we need to look at it.
The budget is there and I just need, it's numbers. So whatever numbers y'all want me to put in there, we'll put it in there and then y'all can decide. Everything, you know, it's
So
just,
we will-
it's just numbers.
We'll
and-
look at it.
And I wanna go back to some evaluations too, I'll be talking about that next time.
Okay. That's all I had, Matt.
So. All right,
Mr. Kane, I think you ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. Okay.
all right, Mr. Keith, you wanna come up to the podium?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. All right, where did that,
What you looking for?
No, thing I handled.
Oh,
did you keep it, Mr. Sain?
Did you get the resume?
I did.
Still have
Yeah, I
Yes,
got it.
still have it. Can we have this one?
Yes.
That's-
what did I do with it?
Here, y'all
You
can
can
look
keep
at
it,
it.
he's got one.
You got one?
She's got
I
another.
just need to get a copy of
Okay.
it. Oh, well, thank you. I can copy for everybody else.
Yeah, we got one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Y'all, I'm Chris T. I know a lot of people here. I've been in the military for 24 years and retired out. I've been a carpenter for many years as well. It's what I'm doing right now, covered in sawdust, right after work. I didn't mean to walk in on the meeting, but I guess I did. I just wanted to hand her this piece of paper and leave. But I've got a little construction background. I built new structures, remodeling, that's what we do now. I know what right looks like. And I've inspected thousands of soldiers and told them what right looks like. And I've done a lot of paperwork as well. I don't know anything about the building inspector position, I know nothing about it. But, I was told about it and said you'd be perfect for it, why don't you go check on it? And here I am. But, I certainly did not anticipate standing right here, right now. But, I'm a pretty good old boy, and I know, I've done electrical work, I've done carpentry work, lots of construction over the years. It's the one thing that I really enjoy and I always find myself coming back to, you know, after the military. And, you know, I know Jonas Moon over there's, he's a pretty good old boy, because you know, he was one of my soldiers years ago, you know. I may have put him in a time or two, but yeah, and I've met so many people. Lived here my whole life, you know, except for 4 years with the Marines. Except for that, I'm here. I know my way around. I know the people. I know about construction. I know what right looks like. I know how to put it down on a piece of paper when it's wrong, and make the needed corrections. I'll go through the proper channels. I've worked with thousands of people over the years, and I'm firm. I try not to make people mad, but yeah, everybody does, and it's part of it. I don't let it get to me. I know what right looks like, and I'm quick to tell you what right is, if I know I'm right. I know if you prove me wrong, then I'm quick to admit that as well. But I would appreciate your consideration for that position, if it's available. And my information is on that. I threw together a little cover page because the old one front and back is just, it was a college project, which I made an A+ on, so, but that was 10 years ago. So I just threw the other, it's got my pertinent information on there.
Well, we appreciate you coming, and you done good. You'll be coming before us, so you done good the first time.
Sure, just let me know, keep me advised. I appreciate your consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we got one more?
I'm rooting for
He didn't come.
He didn't.
He didn't come.
You don't want?
All right, I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything else?
I would like to ask one question. So you are going to contact Melissa Williams about that USB address?
Yes.
So I don't need to
Melissa
follow
Davis.
up on Melissa
No.
Davis, I'm sorry. I don't need to follow up on any of it.
I'll take care of it tomorrow. I'll call her in the morning.
When will we
I'll meet
meet?
with her on Thursday.
I know we meet tomorrow night. Will it be Daphne, who will be the person we pick for that, or we sit down in an interview,
No,
or?
I think we need to talk about that and have something the next meeting. I mean, I think y'all need to.
'Cause he
look at
leaves,
that
what,
next
the
meeting.
27th?
27th, so
of
I
next
would
month.
at least like to have somebody that would hang out about two weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so, and then get, started, because he has a year to do some of the new electrical and the codes and building codes and stuff like that. He has whoever is in there gets a year to get up to where he needs to be. So, and I would love to talk about this next time too, is when I'd like to have Jim on to stay on for the planning commission, just the committee right now, just so that he can come in, because, I mean, that person, I think, needs to be, seasoned a little bit before they can run and that's just my thoughts. What do you think?
I agree with you. And we talked about the money, but we didn't get a yay or nay or nothing on it.
Y'all got
And if
that on
he's
your
doing the
list.
job, he should get paid for it.
Yeah,
Just
well,
like we
yes,
paid
definitely
Chris.
for the consult, yes.
Same thing.
As a consultant. And we'll put that in there too. All right. Anybody else got anything? Nope. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.